Last time on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, well, I should say it was last season, we won a whole lot of money. But it's a brand new year and a brand new season. Let's see how much money we can win tonight on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Sunday night at Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Well, this is our season premiere of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, season number 3. Yes, gosh, we've been on the air now 3 seasons, and safe to say our show has definitely become popular here at RVN, so we definitely want to keep that popularity up. This, of course, is now a summer show, so you'll only see it during the summer, maybe various specials throughout the year as well, but who really knows, to say the least. So, if we're ready to go, then let's play Millionaire. Let's do this. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. Hang on. An ad, of course, for weird crap. So we are just 15 questions away from winning $1 million in cash. We have got 4 lifelines, 50-50, ask the audience, phone a friend, and we can switch the question. And all the way up to the $32,000 mark, we can use Google as much as we want to. This is almost like Celebrity Millionaire, where, they can just feed off of the celebrities for, that long. So, yeah, here we go. I'm excited. Are we ready to play? Audience, are we ready to play? And let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Here we go. Here we go. First question for $100. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Which of these is often used to coat fish before cooking? Knock, thrash, batter, punch. So, used to coat fish. What do you use to coat fish? Okay, let's maybe flour. So, batter maybe? Yes, we're right for $100. Here we go for 200. Venus Williams is a major star in which sport? Basketball, tennis, golf, intergalactic dodgeball. Well, I'd like to see how that would be played, but it is tennis. Final answer. And we're right for 200. Here we go for 300. In which of these gambling games is a small ball typically a vital piece of equipment? Poker, craps, blackjack, roulette. That is roulette. Final answer. And we're right for 300. Here we go for 500. Algeria is the largest country on which continent? Asia, South America, Europe, Africa. Well, I know it's not B or D. Let's phone a friend just to be sure. All right. Oh, it is D. Okay, well, D, final answer. And we got it for 500. Here we go for 1,000. A schooner is a type of what? Cannon, potato, ship, skirt. Okay. Schooner. I just want to be sure. Okay, it is a boat. Final answer then. And we got it for $1,000. All right, we're doing well so far. Next question's worth $2,000. Which of these would you need for a pet saluki? Aquarium, aviary, dog bed, rabbit hutch. Pet saluki. Let's see, saluki. Oh, it's a dog, so a dog bed. Final answer. Got it for $2,000. There we go. For $4,000, the philosopher Socrates killed himself using which poison? Quinine, strychnine, cyanide, hemlock. What poison did Socrates kill himself with? Hemlock. Final answer. Got it for $4,000. And hang on. Here we go. This is for $8,000. What name is given to a cloud of interstellar gas? Quasar, pulsar, nebula, nova. I don't know. Cloud of interstellar glass. Or it's gas. Dang it, hang on. Might be more helpful if we do it like that. And it's what? Cloud of interstellar gas. A nebula. Okay, there you go. That's what I wanted. Final answer. Got it for $8,000. Here we go. This is for $16,000. John Paul Jones was a member of which rock group? Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. I'm not 100% sure, so yeah. John Paul Jones.
According to Wikipedia, John Paul Jones.
There. Led Zeppelin. Okay, that's what I thought, but just wanted to make sure. Final answer. Got it for $16,000. There we go. This is for $32,000 guaranteed. Where is the renowned ancient Greek statue of the Venus de Milo on display? The Uffizi in Florence, the Vatican in Rome, the Prado in Madrid, the Louvre in Paris. Greek statue of Venus de Milo. Let's see, it is in the Louvre. Final answer. Got it for $32,000. Okay, well, we have won $32,000. That is ours to keep no matter what. Now, we can only use Googler once. We can only use it once. We still have 4 of our lifelines, though. We're 5 questions away from winning $1 million. Here we go. Who is the only U.S. president to be buried in Washington, D.C.? Ronald Reagan, Woodrow Wilson, Abraham Lincoln, Herbert Hoover. Well, I know they have a big cemetery in Washington, D.C. When I first saw the question and the possible answers, I immediately thought Abraham Lincoln, because he's the only one out of the 3 that make the most sense. Just because of all he did for slavery and stuff like that. So, I don't think I need to use a lifeline here. I want to, of course, save them until, well, for later on. Yeah, it can't be Reagan. Can't be Woodrow Wilson. almost positive it's not Herbert Hoover. Well, at this stage right now, we have nothing to lose, although you wouldn't want to necessarily take a guess without using any of the lifelines. But I think if we can get it to a 1 lifeline per question basis here for the final ones, that would be helpful. I'm going to do it. C. Abraham Lincoln. Final answer. Shoot. Oh, it was Woodrow Wilson. Dang it. I thought, why is he buried in Washington, D.C., but yet Lincoln isn't? That makes no sense to me for whatever reason. But hey, I wasn't there when all that, took place. So they couldn't have asked for my opinion. I wasn't alive 80 years ago. I know that. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to start off with a brand new game, and hopefully we'll have much better luck when we come back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Well, that was kind of a rough go to start out the season, but hey, $32,000 is still $32,000, so we're not going to complain. Anyway, time to start off a brand new game. So here we go. Without further ado, let's play. Here we go for $100. Which book contains an alphabetical listing of their words and meanings? The Bible, the dictionary, the Quran, Bridget Jones' Diary. It is, of course, the dictionary. Final answer. And we got it for $100. For $200, which of these is a type of shark? Chiselhead, hammerhead, sawhead, screwdriver head. That is hammerhead. Final answer. Right for $200. For $300, in which of these games would you strike a puck? Cricket, JLI, ice hockey, rugby. That is, of course, ice hockey. Final answer. Right for $300. Here we go for $500. Which of these might you expect to see gymnasts use during competition? Donkey, mule, horse, pony. I do not know. What might a gymnast use during a competition? Horse. Okay, well, there's the pommel horse, I think is what it's called. Right for $500. Here we go for $1,000. Which of the Kennedys was not a member of the American political dynasty? John, Nigel, Robert, Edward. It's got to be Nigel. Final answer. We're right for $1,000. Here we go. This is for 2000. Whom did John F. Kennedy succeed as president? Harry Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Roosevelt, Lyndon Johnson. I think Lyndon Johnson succeeded John F. Kennedy. I think it's Truman, Roosevelt, or is it? Well, it's one of those two, but then it's Dwight Eisenhower, and then I think it's John F. Kennedy. So, Dwight Eisenhower, final answer. Got it for $2,000. For $4,000. What is the name for a minimum number of members that must be present at a meeting to make it valid? Quantum, quietum, quorum, quintum. That is quorum. Final answer. Got it for 4,000. For 8,000. Who is the lead singer with Herman's Hermits? Philip Morning, Percy Dusk, Peter Noon, Paul Evening. Hermit's Hermit. Peter Noon, there you go. Final answer. Got it for $8,000. That wasn't the right one. This is for 16,000. Which TV series was inspired by a novel by Candace Bushnell? 6 Feet Under, Sex and the City, Ally McBeal, Dawson's Creek. Candace Bushnell novel. There you go. Sex and the City. Final answer. Got it for 16,000. Whoops. Now we'll play for 32,000. Which country won the first 7 Olympic basketball tournaments from 1936 to 1968? Soviet Union, United States, Canada, Brazil. Who won the first 7 national basketball tournaments from 1932? Wait, no, that's not Olympic. Which country won the first 7 Olympic basketball tournaments? There we go. It's the United States. Final answer. Got it for 32,000. We are on fire right now. It's for 64,000. When was the pop artist Andy Warhol born? There we go. 1921, 1928, 1936, 1944. Let's phone a friend because I don't know. It's not A. Well, and I don't think it's D either. It's either 28 or 36. I know that. This is why I use the phone a friend way early because they're not helpful when it comes to these harder questions. For some reason, I'm thinking it's, well, let's see. He appeared on the dating game in the early 70s, so I'm going to say 1936. Let's hope it's right. Final answer. Are you serious? Boy, we got to the $32,000 question and lost again. My goodness. Maybe we should be using those lifelines. Well, they're called lifelines for a reason. Well, yeah, we're going to get started with a brand new game when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Please. Welcome back, everybody. Wow, we've had a tough going to get things started out here. I mean, we've gotten two $32,000 wins, so I guess that's not too bad. But obviously, we strive for more than just 32,000. Hopefully, we will get farther in this round. Yeah. So I know we had to cancel the 1 week last week, but hey, you still got three shows a week for the next 12 weeks. That's 36 episodes. That's not too shabby. So yeah. That's really all I gotta say about that. Um, but yeah, I think let's get back into it. For $100, let's play. For $100, let's do this. To chat excessively or to talk incoherently is to do what? Haggle, gaggle, scrabble, babble. That is babble. Final answer. And we got it for $100. For 200. On what part of the body is plaque normally deposited? Ears, teeth, eyes, nose. That is teeth. Final answer. And we're right for 200. Here we go for 300. Which of these is a bird of prey? Vole, vixen, vulture, viper. That is vulture. Final answer. We're right for 300. Here we go for 500. Which of these was a 2007 #1 single by Rihanna? Parasol, umbrella, sunshade, canopy. That was umbrella. Ella, a. Final answer. Got it for 500. Here we go for 1,000. Who was New Zealand's first female prime minister? Helen Clark, Jeanette Johns, Jenny Shipley, Kay Murray. I should know this, but I don't. New Zealand's first prime minister. First male prime minister. Dang it. Wait, who was the first one? New Zealand's first female prime minister. Jenny Shipley. I thought it was the lady that went from the mid 2010s kind of, well, to 2020-ish, but we'll go with this one. Jenny Shipley, final answer, and we're right for $1,000. Ad, of course. This is for $2,000. The young of which of these birds are called ducklings? Swan, coot, goose, mallard. Well, I think it's goose. Yeah, it's got to be goose. Final answer. What? What is a mallard? We got to investigate this. Mallard. Oh, it's a duck. Why didn't you just say duck? My goodness, but that's okay. At least we got another $1,000, which isn't too shabby at all. Well, gosh, that's just frustrating sometimes, isn't it? Here we go for $100. Let's play. On which part of the body is a mustache traditionally grown? Above the lips, on the forehead, the inner thigh, big toe. That is on the forehead. Final answer. And we got it for $100. Oh! Why did I do that? That was dumb. Llama, our first llama of the season. Well, let's try again. Which of these is a national holiday in the USA held on the fourth Tuesday in November? Praise-giving, Thanksgiving, hope-giving, gift-giving. That is Thanksgiving. Final answer. And we got it for $100. Garth Brooks is associated with which type of music? Heavy metal, hip hop, big band, country. Wait, Garth Brooks or oh gosh, what's his other name? I forget what it is. That was rock, but country. Final answer. You got 300. Oh, I'm tired. A colt is a young male. What? Fox, eagle, turkey, horse. That is a horse. Final answer. Got it for 300. Here we go for 500. A beginner uses bunny slopes in which sport? Skiing, bowling, golf, curling. I think it's skiing, but let me just make sure. Bunny slopes. Skiing. That's what I thought. Skiing, final answer. And we're right for 500. Here we go now for 1,000. Which of these was a famous outlaw of the Wild West? Ned Kelly, Dick Turpin, Billy the Kid, Buster Edwards. Well, it's Billy the Kid. Final answer. And we got it for $1,000. Here we go. This is for $2,000. Which state is known as the Bluegrass State? Idaho, Kentucky, California, Texas. Well, bluegrass, I wouldn't say it's my favorite kind of country music, but I can get into it, you know. On the right day, I usually do. So, yeah, I'd love to go to Kentucky sometime just to see what it looks like, you know. Feel like we don't hear anything about Kentucky. You know that? As I continue to yawn again. Hopefully I'm not putting any of you guys to sleep or yawning like I am, but yeah. Anyway. Kentucky. Final answer. No, there we go. Got it for $2,000. There we go. We're just 9 away from winning $1 million. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, hopefully we can win the lot. Yes. Hopefully we can get $1 million, or at least one of those bigger figures of money. You know what I mean. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Dun, 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 dun. Welcome back, everybody. Well, hey, we're off to a pretty good start in this next game, I would say. Of course, our next episode of our show will be Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, today's National Game Show Day, so we should be winning a lot more money than we are, but that's okay. Excuse me, it's the way it happens sometimes, you know. Oh my gosh, I'm getting tired of these ads, but I'm not going to pay the $19.99 or whatever it is for YouTube Premium or whatever. But yeah, here we go. Let's play. 9 questions away from $1 million. Perry White is the boss of which comic book superhero? Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Captain America. Well, let's see. Perry White. DC Comics. Well, that doesn't help. Well, it's Superman then, isn't it? Yeah, Superman. Final answer. Got it for $4,000. It's for 8,000. What is the Bolshoi in Moscow? Ballet company, science museum, art school, people's market. Bolshoi. Ballet and opera. There you go. Ballet company. Final answer. Got it for $8,000. It's for 16,000. Elizabeth I of England reigned for most of the latter half of which century? 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. Let's phone a friend, because why not? All right, it's C. I'm going to trust him. Final answer. Got it for 16,000. It's for 32,000. What is the 12th and last sign in the zodiac year? Pisces, Aquarius, Taurus, Cancer. I think it's Cancer, but let me check. Last zodiac sign of the year. Pisces. Oh, wait. Sign of the year. Wait, this is a trick. Oh, in the zodiac year. Okay, so it would be Pisces. Okay. Final answer. That kind of scared me. Got it for 32,000. Boy. All right, that 32,000, we can't go away with less than that. So here it is for $64,000. Who was the longtime working partner and wife of George Burns? Gracie Thomas, Gracie Berry, Gracie Douglas, Gracie Allen. That is Gracie Allen. Final answer. Got it for 64,000. Oh, that was not the right cue. For 125,000. From which country did the domestic Angora cat originate? Egypt, Turkey, Iran, India. I have a guess, but I am going to ask the audience. Okay, audience, we need your help. On your keypads, using A, B, or C, vote now. There we go. Well, 33% said B, Turkey. 29% said C, Iran. I was thinking it was India. But you know what? I'm going to go with the audience on this one and go with B. It's not a large majority. B, Turkey. Final answer. Got it for 125,000. Woo! There we go. This is for 250,000. What is the most abundant element in the Earth's crust? Silicon, aluminum, iron, oxygen. I have got no clue. And I know we've had this question before. Let's use Googler. What is the most abundant element in the Earth's crust? Oxygen. There we go. Now, if we get this wrong, we lose $93,000. But if we get it right, hey, our money doubles to $250,000. But Googler says they're pretty sure that it's oxygen. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go with oxygen. Final answer. Got it for $250,000. Woo! Oh, baby, we are just 2 away from winning $1 million. We've got both lifelines left. Holy smokes. This is going to be an interesting last part of the show. That is for sure. My goodness. Now, if we get it wrong, we lose 218,000. So we got to think about that too. Yeah. Yeah. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. What? Well, after kind of a bad start to the episode, we've come crawling all the way back. We are just 2 questions away from winning $1 million. Boy, if we can do that on National Game Show Day, that would just be crazy if we could. That's for sure. But here we go. $500,000. Let's play. Ba-da-da-da-da. But of course, we got to add, so here we go. In which African country is the area of Mashonaland found? Kenya, Egypt, Mozambique, Zimbabwe. I've got no clue, so we're going to have to switch the question. All right, if we were to guess, I probably would have said B. Mashonaland. Oh, it was in Zimbabwe, so thank God we didn't. All right, can we have another question, computer, valued at $500,000? No way! It's the same question! Well, Zimbabwe, final answer. Got it for $500,000! No way! Wow. When I said computer, can we get another question? I didn't mean the same question, but thanks anyway for that. Here it is for $1 million. Kirkara is the local name for which island? Crete, or Crete, sorry. Kos, Corfu, Corsica. Well, we'll use the 50-50. Why not? Okay, computer, please take away 2 of the wrong answers, leaving us with just 1 wrong answer and the correct one. Corfu, Corsica. Well, when I saw the options pop up with the answers, I thought it was either Crete or Corsica. Kerkira, Corsica, it kind of has a ring to it. Although I am really not sure on that, to be honest. And I don't know if risking it is going to do us any good. Well, if we go for it and we get it wrong, we'll lose $468,000. It's a lot of money to lose, but there's a lot more to gain. But like I said, it would just be a guess. And I don't know if I want to risk $468,000 on a guess. Because I had never heard of Kos or Corfu, so I ruled those out. But even though you never heard of them, doesn't mean they're not the right answer. As much as I'd like to take a gamble, I don't think I could forgive myself if I or get over it if we lost $468,000. So I think we're going to walk away. Final answer. Woo! Oh, wait, no, we didn't take a guess, that's for sure. Well, if we had to guess, though, like I said, if we had to go for it, of course, we would go with Corsica. Oh, it was Corfu. Thank goodness we walked away. Wow. $500,000 to get the season started off with. Wow. Wow. That sound means we are out of time for tonight, but holy smokes, $565,000. That is a lot of cheddar on National Game Show Day that we were able to take home with us. Boy. Well, $565,000. That's our first episode total. So we'll put that in the bank and yeah, we'll play on with another show, I guess. Of course, that'll be Tuesday night at 8 p.m. 7 Central, right here on RVN. Of course, coming up next, we still got plenty of more game show action. We've got another episode of Arcadium, and then at 10 o'clock, or no, excuse me, it will be Arcadium, and then at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, it will be Wheel of Fortune. Good night.